What's going on, everybody? We are back again to talk about a very exciting matchup. You can see Big Mike is in Allegiant Stadium right now, live from Allegiant Stadium, where we are going to be for this game here with the Patriots at the Raiders. The over-under 44.5, and the game is pick'em right now. We're recording this Thursday afternoon, so it might flip. The line might switch up throughout the week, especially as we get more injury news. But look, we're working with barely any props right now and a pretty shitty game. A lot of injuries to monitor. But Mike, Raiders fan here. You're our resident Raiders guy. So I'm going to you here, right? They're
Yep.
still mathematically in the hunt for the playoffs.
Yeah,
The
we got to
Patriots
win
are
out.
sitting in seventh right now, but they got to win. They got to
Yep.
win out pretty much too to in order to stay in that because the Chargers are right on their ass. How do you see this game going? Do you think the Raiders pull it off? A little bit of maybe the fact that they're at home gives them the advantage here. What do you see going on here?
I like them a lot better at home than having to go to New England. That's for sure. I'll say that first off. And then with the Raiders, you just don't know what you're going to get on a weekly basis. Sometimes they look like world beaters. They look like they can take the NFL by storm, and then they lose to Baker Mayfield on a day and a half of preparation. So you just don't, you never know what you're going to get with the Raiders. But as far as this game goes, I got the Raiders winning this game. I think they can pull it off. It's going to be a low scoring affair. So over under, I definitely like the under on this game. I'm leaning towards the Raiders just for the simple fact that offensively the Patriots, and this is the reason why they don't have a lot of props up, is because there's a lot of questionables as far as injuries go with the Patriots. You got Stevenson, he has an ankle. I know that Damian Harris, he's been out for a couple of weeks. Devontae Parker, he might be out with a concussion likely. And then they're Jacoby Myers as well. So they're without a lot of firepower on offense, but Bill Belichick is very creative with trying to get different people in the mix as far as offense goes. But this isn't the Patriots from the 2000s and even last decade. This is a different look, and I think the Raiders have enough firepower on defense to kind of slow them down defensively, and do just enough to win the game at the end of the game.
Yeah, I think the key here is if the Raiders are able to force the Patriots to pass the ball. Now I know it sounds crazy because the Raiders have not been good against the pass all season long, but the run game is the Patriots' bread and butter, and the Raiders have been better defensively against run game than the pass game. If they're able to slow down Stevenson or Harris or whoever ends up playing in that running back room for the Patriots, and they force Mac Jones to throw the ball a lot, if they're able to get even an ounce of pressure, I like them against Mac Jones there. If the problem is their secondary hasn't been good, but against these receivers, there's not much that Mac Jones is working with in terms of super talented receivers. All these guys can get the job done and make catches, but they're not going to force themselves open and stuff. You got to kind of really scheme them open pretty well. So I think he has a struggling receiver room, especially with those injuries. Struggling running back room with some injuries. And so I think the Raiders have the advantage in terms of that. We know Josh Jacobs is shaken up, but he's been shaken up for 6 weeks now. It's not really hindering his performance. I do think that they have to attack the run as well, and that'll be their success. So I am looking for Josh Jacobs props when they come out. Me and Chad will talk about that Sunday morning and finalize any picks officially. But if they're giving me a reasonable number on him, I like it. James Conner was able to torch that Patriots defense. And James Conner, he's only had like 3 or 4 games where he's going over 60 yards even all season. Yeah. So he had that at halftime, I think, pretty sure. Yeah. So I think the Raiders, they have some angles where they can attack. They can attack through the run. Obviously, we know Devontae Adams is going to get his. But other than that, I think it should be a Josh Jacobs, Devontae Adams game. Keep it simple for the Raiders and get out of here with a win.
Yeah, and as far as Devontae Adams goes, like the Raiders, when they target Devontae Adams, I don't have the stat off the top of my head, but they target him. The more they target him, the more likely they're going to win. And it goes along with feeding Josh Jacobs. So you feed Josh Jacobs, you give Devontae Adams the targets, you're going to win the game. Now I don't know why Josh McDaniels doesn't understand this, but I digress. That's just one of those things that has been a big conundrum, a big, just confusing for me is watching the Raiders. It just you're not feeding your stars enough, and that's what needs to happen in this game if they're trying to beat a Patriots defense as good as theirs. They're very stingy. They get after you, and they'll make you do some things you don't want to do offensively. So
Yeah.
you got to stick to what got you there, what's going to get you success, and that's Devontae Adams and Josh Jacobs, point blank, period.
Yeah, you gotta keep it simple. You can't try to like out scheme and out coach Belichick in this situation, especially when you're Josh McDaniels and Belichick knows what you're doing and what your thought process is. I hadn't
Right.
even considered that until you mentioned Josh McDaniels here, but I mean, I guess it would feel nice for him to get this win against the Patriots.
Yeah.
And as bad as the season's been going, you think the players are going to rally around him for that one?
I don't know, man. I don't know. At this point, I don't know if he still has a locker room by his side like that. I think they're playing for each other. I think that's what's kind of getting them by. And when they are playing well, is that they kind of look at the guy next to him and they start playing really well. But I don't know if Josh McDaniels is that motivator, and I don't think he is. And I think that because of that, these guys aren't going to really rally around him for that kind of cause. I could be wrong. I'm not in the locker room like that. I don't know what's going on in the locker room.
Right,
But
right.
to me, what it seems like on the surface level, on the outside looking in, is that they're not really sold on what Josh McDaniels is putting down.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's what it seems like.
Yeah.
So I definitely agree with you there. But it might spark some motivation. If they lose this game, he might as well just hop on the plane back with them because that's where
Yeah.
he's going to end up as soon as the Raiders find some cash to get rid of him. He's going to just be right back under Belichick's wing, like the rest of the coaches do, like he
Yep.
did before.
Yep.
Yeah, he might as well just take that flight home, get a free flight back if they
Absolutely.
lose this game.
Go ahead and set your spot up in the Patriots front office or whatever it was. Get your desk all dusted off again. Go ahead and take a seat right over there where you belong. If he does lose this game again.
Yeah,
Here's a little surprise here is that Waller and Renfro might be back for this game.
mm-hmm.
So that's something to look at. Might get in the mix, get those guys in the mix early. Or just get them in the mix and get this offense going, which we haven't really seen them get involved really all season. So maybe you see them in this game. I don't know. I didn't see any props on them as so far. So that's something to look at. That's something to also look at.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I was gonna hint at that. Waller coming back. If Waller comes back and they make Foster Moreau's numbers real low because of that, like a 15 or something like that.
Yep.
If we see that, I'm going for Moreau there because I think even Waller coming back. Look, we've talked about it all season. The problems that him and Derek Carr have had in terms of their relationship, things like that, and just Waller not being the same player the past couple years that he was, looking a couple years after, before that. He's just fallen off a little bit, in my opinion. I don't know if it's the scheme or the offense, or if he just needs a change of scenery, or if it's him. I don't know, but I would like Foster Moreau's numbers to go down a little bit from where they are, and that would, I still think he would be able to hit them. So
yeah, and I mean it's not like Foster Moreau was really putting up big numbers anyway. So
yeah, but they got him set pretty perfectly at like 33, and he's right around there every game. But if Darren Waller coming back drops him to like 15, 16, 17, 18 range. Yep. I like it because one catch could get him it, or if Waller gets hurt again, I mean, there's just things to look at. It makes it interesting him being back, depending on what the numbers they give us.
And you gotta kind of you can't really just throw them to the fire like that. It's usually not how it works. So
exactly.
So
we'll see if the books are sharp with that too. That's what I'm gonna wait and see for.
Yeah, and as far as the betting percentage goes. I was looking at it. The Raiders opened at a -3. Now it's a pick'em game, and the betting percentage, the public is 58% towards the Raiders and 42% towards the Patriots. So, and it's rising too. Earlier this morning, it was 54% in favor of the Raiders. So it's kind of making me a little nervous. I don't know about you, but just the way these games have gone is real WWE-esque. But I'm not gonna get into the conspiracies or anything like that. So, but if you're looking at something like that, that's that's something to consider as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess it's only right. I got nothing else for this game, but if you have anything else, feel free. And then we'll end it off with the first touchdown bet, since that is actually one of the props that we are able to get numbers for right now. We're filming this Thursday afternoon. So since we do actually have touchdown props, what are you thinking for your first touchdown? And I'll let you know what their numbers are looking like.
I like Josh Jacobs. It's pretty standard. The Patriots, I'm not really too sure on where to go, but I do like they do have multiple tight ends that can tear you up pretty good in the red zone. Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry, one of those guys. I like that for some good value. But for the Raiders, I like Josh Jacobs and stay with the status quo. Josh Jacobs and Devontae Adams.
Yeah, so Josh Jacobs are getting plus 475 for first touchdown. Devontae Adams are getting plus 550 for first touchdown. Hunter Henry, you're getting plus 1400. Jonnu Smith plus 2500. I
Yeah,
think they've been
that's
going away
two.
from Jonnu Smith. They're kind of looking
Yeah,
at Hunter Henry more. So I would go
yeah,
Hunter Henry if you're going to go with one of those touchdowns. I took Hunter Henry for a touchdown in the Monday night game. That did not pan out, but
yeah,
that game didn't go as expected for anybody. I'm assuming with all the injuries, it seems like everybody was just dropping like flies Monday night. So everything got out of whack a little bit. I do like the Hunter Henry thought. That could
yeah,
definitely play. And we've talked about it all season, tight ends against the Raiders. Real
yeah,
quick, I'll give you anytime touchdown just in case the people listening don't bet first touchdowns. But Josh Jacobs minus 145. You got to eat a lot of juice. Devontae Adams minus 125. Hunter Henry plus 240, though. Solid value. All those numbers are on DraftKings. That's the only thing we have given odds right now for this game. But Sunday morning, me and Chad will definitely hook you guys up with our official thoughts on this game if we have any bets that we like when the numbers come out for us.
yep, yep. And then like for the Raiders, like their secondary gives up a lot of yards to last week it was to a bunch of nobodies. Might be another type of situation. Kendrick Bourne or Tyquan Thornton, receptions for them or even yards for them. That might be something
Mm-hmm.
to look at as well. So
Yeah,
that's
definitely
kind of
with
my
the with
thought.
the receiver room being beat up and everything too. So
Yeah.
I agree with you there. Yeah.
So yeah, that's
Anything
all
else
I
you got
got
on
for
this one?
now. That's it, man. That's all I got.
Yeah. Yeah, not much to work with here in this game.
Yeah.
As I said, very exciting matchup here between the Patriots at the Raiders. If I had to call it either way, I would go Raiders for a win, straight up. Depending on where the line ends up later in the week, again, me and Chad will talk about that Sunday when we go through every single game on the entire Sunday slate. We got
Yep.
Saturday games this week too, so we'll be doing Saturday as well.
Right.
So make sure you tune in. I'm either going to do that Saturday morning, bright and early, or Friday night. We'll see. I haven't decided yet, but
Sounds
stay tuned.
good.
Hit that subscribe button, and you won't miss it. And make sure you go subscribe on Big Mike's podcast as well, and follow him on Twitter. All that information will be right there in the description box below. Anything else you want to add there?
That's about it, man. Yep, that's it.
Go Raiders, I guess, right?
Yeah, hey, we got to win out, man. We got to win out. That's the only way.
Yep. All right. Peace, everybody. Best of luck betting this weekend.
Peace.